Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. We're back with another Minecraft video once again. Alright. We got lots of new things to show you today. Excuse my voice. Alright, we're staying at San Nube for the night. Alright. This is the hotel swimming pool. As you saw from my previous video, we renovated the hotel to add the hot tub and the tennis court. Just so the city looks attractive and this is how it looks. But there's one last thing I want to build to make this even more attractive. Build a nightclub so the city can have nightlife. Every resort city has nightlifes. So when vacationers go out for a drink, they can go to the nightclub. The nightclub will also have a bar as to accommodate that. But yeah. Alright. These are the beaches of San Nube. There's one more that's unnamed. And alright, it's gonna be called Sunset Beach. Because the direction I'm facing towards is where the sun sets. Yeah, the name is supposed to mean that the beach is facing towards the direction the sun sets. If it were to face the west, the sun would set right there. If it were to face the east, the sun would rise right there. Alright, I'm also gonna put the name in Spanish, since San Nube is supposed to be a Spanish-speaking city. Alright. Alright. Again, it's gonna be Sunset Beach. Same in Spanish. Alright. There has been stuff going on lately we could talk about. There's not much to talk about in basketball, so I will only talk about two topics for today. First, the Milwaukee Bucks became the first team in the NBA to clinch the playoff berth, which was so early, given that they have a pretty good record, that they have the best record in the league. Here's the flag of Germany. We're gonna go inside the castle, and what's also notable is that this is the earliest any NBA team has clinched the playoff berth, and the Milwaukee Bucks have done that. No other teams have done that before. If the 1995-96 Bulls were to play today and they still maintain the best record in the league of 72-10, they would make the playoffs this early, you know. One more thing to talk about in basketball is that there's this one guy who's been dominating the league lately. It's a guy from the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum. Kemba Walker has been injured recently, and Jason Tatum has been taken over for him, and what he's done so far is pretty amazing. He's been averaging around 30 points in the month of February, and he even got an All-Star selection that same month, which is good. Good on him. Yeah, I would love to see him dominate in the league for many years to come. there's lots of younger NBA stars that are looking to become the players of the future, you know? Alright. That's all I can talk about in basketball. There's not too many relevant topics to talk about anymore. I know it's been more than a month since Kobe died, but I just want to move on from there and just talk what we want. Just talk what we want to talk about. That's also relevant. Okay, we're just gonna sleep in this hotel for the night. Okay. The rail project is 80 to 85% complete, and here's how the rail system has changed. Signs have been put up, including ones that are in Spanish. It's a llama. It's the sound of a llama. Don't worry about it. And here's the pre-existing rail system that has been seen in a couple of videos. Alright, this station here, as you can see, was completely rebuilt with just simple wooden platforms and nothing else. Since it's a relatively small village with one person living here, there was no point in having a lavish looking station right here. Just make it small with just wooden platforms, no shelter, anything else. Alright. This is only a request stop, meaning that if you want to stop here, then you'll have to stop here, and then the train will go. And here's another renovated station, Hartley, which has been relocated south of the village. It's now been rerouted to the new rail system that just got built. And here's a simple bridge called El Bicho Bridge. El Bicho is Spanish for the bug, if you don't know what that is. I'm pretty good at Spanish, but I'm still terrible at some Spanish sentences, so don't expect me to be perfect at Spanish. I'm not really perfect at that. And here's the welcome sign of Zapata County, including the signs that are in Spanish. And now the fun part that you guys asked for. Here is the underwater tunnel. We'll get there in a bit, but first we gotta make some cosmetic changes to this dryland tunnel. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Now here it is, the underwater tunnel. How does it look right here? To me, it's probably the most impressive thing I've ever built so far in Minecraft, in my opinion. I'm not trying to brag about it, but I just wanna think about the amazing things that I've built and what do I think of it. And here's how it looks when you're swimming underwater. And of course we do have the lights to give this tunnel some illumination. And the tunnel crosses through this area, and then it segues into this part, and which is probably the longest section of the underwater tunnel I built. Alright, and this is where the tunnel ends, right there. This is where it ends. Alright, and here's another welcome sign to Murray County. That's all I can show you about the tunnel, but there's more to show you about this new rail system that I just built. Here we have the Walt Disney Bridge, which is basically a cantilever bridge, as you can see from right here. And you can see the name of this bridge right here, called Walt Disney Bridge. I had been wanting to name a bridge after someone who was born in Chicago. So I decided to name this Walt Disney Bridge, since he was born in Chicago. And here's the humble bridge, which is perfectly fitting considering how simple it looks. And here's a small bridge called the Muhammad Ali Memorial Bridge, named after the greatest. And we got another station to show you. As you can see, the village just has changed. 2 new houses have been built. The population is growing. We hope that it continues to prosper into a populated village. Here is St. Margaret. Originally, the name was supposed to be Hastings, but the pole that I created to name this village came too close to a call, so I had to flip the coin off screen, and then the winner was St. Margaret. Here's another welcome sign, and another one welcoming you to Kennedy County. And so the winner declared was St. Margaret. So although the poll came too close to a call, the name St. Margaret is final. Nothing else is going to be changed. Here's the Vincent van Gogh Bridge. It's built as an arch bridge, modeled after a bridge that in France. And the rest of the system I already showed you in my previous Minecraft video, so there's not much to say about this one, except we could show you some parts you might have missed. Here's the Crystal Overpass. Crystal is the name for the desert that's right here. And here's the Abraham Lincoln Bridge. Alright, there's one more thing to show you, and the rest you already know from the previous video that I did, focusing on this system that I just built. Here's the Leonardo da Vinci Causeway, which is also, in my opinion, the most impressive thing I've ever built. This is probably the longest bridge I ever had to build. It was a little bit challenging, but I was able to overcome that and bring this to life. Okay, the rest of the system, you already know what it, you've already seen it in the previous video, so I don't have to explain. You could just watch the previous video by clicking on the link to my channel and find one that came before this video. Or if you want to, click on the link to the video in the description below. Okay, now, one last new thing to show you. Here's Palmer. It's also a request stop, just like Dawson's Loneliness. And I did also put up the name for Dawson's Loneliness in Spanish, which is Soledad de Dawson. Alright. Dawson's Loneliness is a humorous name, but the origin of the name is that it's a humorous reference to how lonely Jack was to how lonely Jack Dawson was until he met Rose, as you've seen from the movie Titanic. And I was actually obsessed with the Titanic back in 3rd grade, and I even had to watch some movie scenes to learn what happened. And that's how I came to know about the Titanic. Even the city I built, Queenstown, is named after the last stop at the Titanic. So what you'll find in this land are a few references to Titanic, and that's what you'll find in order to understand what I'm talking about. Alright, we're gonna sleep in here for the night in St. Andrews. Alright. 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 Yes, curious where the rail system will stop for now, until we build a new city, which you will see right here. It's mostly an empty field, which will no longer be empty when I build the new city. And we might also build a residential neighborhood, which could be the end of the line for the rail system up north. And as you can see, this will be the site for the new city, and you will see it in the sign that's right there. It's gonna be called Parkholm, and the sign says so. And the sign says so right here. Future site of Parkholm. After this video is done, I will start building on this city almost immediately. Okay. I don't know how long will it take for me to finish the city, but I expect it to be finished in maybe a few months, or even as soon as a couple weeks, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just gonna have to take some time to build a city and then finish it, and the end result is what you'll see in the next couple of months. Okay. We're gonna go look at the camp and build a few more things there, and then we're done building the camp. Okay. Alright. In football, there's not much to talk about other than where will quarterbacks go, which I already explained in the previous video that I talked about earlier. It's still unknown if Tom Brady will stay with the Patriots or not. But if he does leave, that will mark the end of the Patriots dynasty that has dominated the league for 2 decades, from when he first came to the league in the year 2000. Alright. We're gonna build a bathroom in this camp to accommodate the students' needs, the campers' needs. It's one last thing we will build, and then the camp is done. And alright, and we also got the NFL draft coming up this April, and there has been talk of who will be the #1 pick. The #1 pick could possibly be Joe Burrow, who had who had a spectacular season at LSU, which led to a national college football championship in the same season, in which they defeated the Clemson Tigers, who have Trevor Lawrence, who is said to be a draft prospect for 2021. Joe Burrow has already declared for the draft, so the hype surrounding him being in the NFL is already coming true. Who's gonna take Joe Burrow? I believe everyone has him taken first overall by the Bengals, but there could be other teams that want him too, like the Miami Dolphins, who are also desperately wanting a franchise quarterback, which is something they have not had since Dan Marino retired in 1999. And however, they have to trade up since Joe Burrow is considered widely to be the number one pick in their own and mock drafts that I've seen. The Dolphins might have to trade up just to get Joe, and yeah, that's how it's gonna be if they want to get him. It's a pretty risky process, but I hope they pull it off in order to get him. Alright. There are also other quarterbacks that will be in the draft too. Tua, whose last name I can't pronounce, could be taken by the Dolphins or the Chargers. And from mock drafts that I've read online, he could be taken by the Miami Dolphins, who, like I said, are in need of a franchise quarterback. But there has been some questions about Tua's health, considering that he was injured in a game against Mississippi State in 2019, which occurred on his hip, and that ended his season early, and it caused his draft stock to drop, which scared teams of taking him. Regardless, he's still a top 10 pick, and he could very well end up with the Dolphins or the Chargers. Another quarterback that's going to be taken in the draft is Justin Herbert out of Oregon. A bunch of mock drafts I've read online have him taken either by the Chargers or the Colts. In my opinion, the Colts are a better fit for him, considering that they have a coach who's pretty excited about him, from what I've known. And all I know is that because Justin Herbert could probably be a top 10 pick, the Colts have to trade up just to get him. Or if his draft stock drops down, he could very well be drafted by the Colts, so if his draft stock drops, this could give them a chance to take him before other teams take him too. But like I said, Justin Herbert is supposed to could be a top 10 pick, so if the Colts are watching this video, I suggest that they should trade up for him. They could very well do that in order to get him. The reason I want them to take Herbert is because they're in the need of a franchise quarterback, which was what they've been missing since Andrew Luck's sudden retirement. And without a franchise quarterback like Andrew Luck since he retired, the Colts are pretty much lost. and they need someone like Herbert who can take them to another level. And although some people will disagree with me, it's just my opinion, and I just want to speak the facts. And to add more to it, Jacoby Brissett is under contract until 2021, which is when he will hit free agency. So maybe if they draft Herbert, he could you know, be on the bench for 1 year until they finally decide it's time to start him as their starting quarterback. Alright, the camp bathroom is done, and here it is. This is Camp Eagle Pass, and this is how the camp looks like. These are the cabins. The other large building right there is the dining hall. Alright. Alright, here, this is the girls' cabin and the boys' cabin. Alright. Alright. The camp is done. What do you think of this camp? Is there anything I can do to improve it? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'll be willing to take that advice and improve this camp. Alright, okay, now that it's done, we can go back home now. We also got the bonfire too, which is the best part of the camp. Alright, and as you can see, the camp I have right here is called Camp Eagle Pass. Even the lake is named after that. And here it is right here, Camp Eagle Pass. Okay, we're done with the camp. We can finally go home now. Alright. But there's a few more things I need to do before I get back. Alright. Quarterbacks aren't the only football positions that are being taken in the draft. A stat class of receivers are being taken in the draft. The top receivers that could be taken in the first round could be Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama, CeeDee Lamb out of Oklahoma, Henry Ruggs III out of Alabama, and these are all the top 3 receivers that will be taken in the draft this year. And there's too many receivers to name, so these are just a few examples that I would like to mention. All right, this is the basketball arena. The lights have been added on the corner of the basketball court, so it gives lighting to the basketball court, and that it can improve the experience of playing basketball on this court and on this and right here inside the arena. All right. The football stadium is still being empty until later this month. When spring arrives, it will be converted into a soccer stadium. And So it's gonna be like this until the soccer season begins later this month. Okay. There's one last thing to show you. This is the auditor. This is the amphitheater that I just built, and it now has a name. It will open later this spring, and the name is already gonna be. The name has already been declared, Imperial Amphitheater, which is a nice name, considering that it has a nice ring to it. And here are the loudspeaker towers. And I need to add the pyrotechnics to this amphitheater. I'll try and see if I can do that. If you don't want me to do that, then I won't add them. Alright, that's all I can show you about the amphitheater. Alright. Alright. That's all I can show you about the new things that I've just built recently in Minecraft. We're gonna go home now, and that's all I can talk about of the NFL draft that will be coming up later in April. Alright. There's a couple more draft prospects that I would love to talk about, but I just wanted to give you some examples for the sake of time. And I will talk more about the draft in the next video or so. Alright. Alright. Yeah, these damn villagers are ruining the farm fields. Yeah. I gotta watch over the farm fields constantly. So if one villager steps over the crops, I'll have to push them off so they don't ruin it. Alright. Alright, same over here. Carrots are the main source of crops that are grown in this village, as some of you don't know. Alright, these are the stuff we got in this house, and these are the items that we store in the barrel and in the chests, and they mostly store food, armor, and some unique stuff that we have in Minecraft. For those of you new to my Minecraft videos, get this villager off of the dragon stand. For those of you new to my Minecraft videos, here are my 4 cats that live in my house. That live in this house. This is my cat Daniel. This is my cat Garfunkel, and my 2 other cats, Carson and Jim. And that's all I can show you around the house. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.